Hey world! I recently created a little interactive animation. I called it Diarrhea. To do this project, I used Sublime Text to create and edit the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript files. P-Scale to create the frames of the animated images, and Unfreeze to create the animated images with the frames. The images! I know that it exists a lot of other software, but I wanted to create pixel art images. So I created all the frames I needed, I put them in Unfreeze, and at the end, ta-da! 2 animated images. Firstly, I needed 2 different files. The first one is a HTML file, I name it index. The second one is a CSS file, I name it style diarrhea. Finally, the third one is a JavaScript file, I name it diarrhea. The HTML! There is the HTML code that I used. I don't think that I have to explain you it either. In body, I created a div that contained 2 other elements. One of the other elements is a div again, but this time I had an identifier named perso. This div contained nothing. I'll explain you why later. The second other element is a paragraph element with an identifier named text perso. The text in this element is click on the character. If I didn't write this, some person won't know what to do in this page. The CSS! This is the CSS code that I used. For the body, these things are not important, but it's just because I write this for each project I make. Sometimes it is useful, sometimes not. For the identifier perso, I define the size of the element and the background that is one of the animated images I created before. After I added background size, because if I don't do this, the background image will be too big and we'll see only a little part of the image. For the identifier perso image too, that's the same except the background image. If you saw the HTML part, this identifier doesn't exist in the HTML code. I'll explain you that a bit later. For the P, I defined the color with the RGBA. The font family, that is Arial, with the font size to 20 pixel and the font weight bold. The JavaScript! There is the JavaScript code that I used. Firstly, if we want to modify the elements in the HTML file, we have to define the identifiers. So I defined perso and text perso. After, I added an event listener to the element perso. This event listener will activate the function named nextImage. This function do 2 things. Firstly, it changes the animated images by the other one. Next, it changed the text click on the character by yuck. Finally, if I run the HTML file with all the other things, this project looks weird, but very cool too. That was all for now. If you want to download the source code or just try the result, just follow the link that I put in the description. So I'll see you soon with a new project.